芸があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんだよ。みんな、ブローキンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, the reigning, defending Broken Predictions champion, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
You know, Jeff, I am currently continuing to ride this high of a week-long high of professional wrestling.
Oh my God, this might be one of my favorite weeks of professional wrestling in a long time. I mean, I can't remember a better full week of wrestling that has just put a giant smile on my face and on the face of one of my great friends here. If you guys didn't know, Saturday was our co-host here, King Rome's birthday. Everybody say belated birthday to King Rome here. And you know, the next morning, or the next day, I'm sorry, I should say, Rome got one of the greatest birthday gifts ever from one of his worst enemies, the Fed, where they had Roman Reigns defeat Cody Rhodes in hilarious fashion. The same way we've seen Roman win all of his matches over the past, almost 1,000 days of his reign. That just had to be one of the greatest birthday gifts ever from, basically an enemy, right?
Yeah, so firstly, Ed is saying you're a little too loud while I'm a little too quiet. I don't know if that's something you can
lower
check
myself here a little bit.
But I would say that yes, this was one of the most amazing things that the Fed has ever given me.
It was. Oh, go ahead.
When they had this loser, Corey Paths, when they had this guy who used disenfranchised fans to build himself up, to build up his worth, and then instantly just completely, bail on those fans, that section of fans that he used to get back on his feet after he got let go from WWE. I take that personally. That's fine. But, him losing on Sunday was just so incredible. This guy really thought he was going to be the throne breaker and then go and sit on the throne. Get the fuck out of here. What a fucking loser. And you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to excuse the awful booking from that fraud Paul Levesque. I'm not going to do that. Obviously, the right call on their part was to let Cody win, to have Cody win. Especially when you sacrifice Sami Zayn's white hot heat to get there. We were not even going to talk about Sami Zayn because you want to talk about who should be the world champion right now over there. It's not Cody and it's not Roman. But the fact that they went out and they did this and they took Sami and they buried him, and then they took Cody and they buried him, and then they go out and have an all-time awful Monday Night Raw where Brock Lesnar just destroyed. Oh my God, Vince is so back, and it was great. So they announced this main event where it's like Roman and Solo Sikoa or whatever versus Cody and Brock. And of course, Brock just destroys Cody. And then Cody, just being the biggest fucking geek of all time, stumbles out of the ring after the show. He's like falling around. He got his ass beat. And, you know, when I say that this brought me pure joy, and you know what? I'm just going to say it. Maybe Vince McMahon's not as bad as we all thought, you know? I'm just going to be the one to say it. I mean, this guy buried Cody Rhodes on my birthday weekend. What more can I ask for from WWE?
Dude, the funniest thing to me was the excuse that Triple L gave of like, this is the WWE, the story never ends. And I was like, dude, what?
Look, man, it was, let me just tell you, it was awful. Like, again, Triple Paul completely exposed this weekend. Obviously, I understand Vince was Monday night, sure. But come on, man. Like, I've been saying it. The booking got better under Triple Paul, but was it like really that much better? No, it wasn't. You have a bunch of women in the locker room who are basically complaining about the booking, complaining about them not being used, which you could see it's factual. Even when Triple H was the guy in charge, like it was just not good, and it's not much better now. And Ryan Davis says in the chat, Dynamite after Mania was bigger than Raw after Mania. Absolutely. And man,
Yeah.
you want to talk about people in shambles? WWE fans have to be going through it. Mania sucked. They had their babyface Cody got buried, and then he got buried again, and then Jay White, FTR, which we'll get into.
In the first minute Jay White shows up, man, I bet people were just losing their minds.
I feel like if I'm Cody Rhodes, honest to God, if I'm Cody Rhodes, I am kicking myself so fucking hard this week. Like, obviously, I don't want to like go out of order, but like we got to talk about like the week that Cody Rhodes is having. So, and like I'm gonna put my hatred of him aside, just how much this fucking sucks for this guy. So this guy, he left AEW, he left his fan base, he left his his friends, his family, everyone behind, so he could go win the title for his father. Which is, again, I'm not gonna get into it. I could go on a tirade for 10 minutes, but I'm not going to. Win the title for his father, finish the story. He goes, he gets buried, and again, like it doesn't matter if he wins it later. Timing is everything in pro wrestling. And if you had to pull the trigger there. Like think about Full Gear. Think about if, a few years back, Hangman. What if Kenny had beaten Hangman at Full Gear because the Young Bucks interfered and Hangman did not win the world title? Even if he had won it later, the moment would have passed. And timing is so important in pro wrestling. And so even if you give Cody the belt later on, it doesn't matter now. He got buried 2 nights in a row. It was great. So anyway, so Cody, sorry, this is a very long opening segment, Jeff.
No,
so
dude,
Cody,
we're here for it.
Yeah, Cody goes on this, he goes and he gets buried twice at Mania and the night after Mania. And then he looks over, right now he's probably sitting at home, and he's just like, he sees this episode of Dynamite tonight, and like Jay White shows up and All In is announced. And Tony Khan was right to credit Cody because Cody plays a big part in that All In show happening in the first place, and he's not there. And like, I don't have really sympathy for the guy because fuck him, but like, that sucks. Like, this was like All In was a big thing with Cody because Cody started it with the infamous tweet, when someone asked Meltzer if, an indie wrestling promotion could sell 10,000 tickets. And Dave said no, and Cody said, I'll take that bet.
Yeah.
So to get to this point, which again, we will talk about All In later, but to get to this point where like now, like, okay, well, we're doing the next step of All In. Man, like you gotta be feeling that. You didn't win the belt. The whole reason you went there, you failed. Like, what are they going to do? Make you wait another year? Like, no, they're not going to do that. And if they do that,
if you watched the pre-show on night 2, Cody steps off of a bus that's like, it was like supposed to be the Nightmare bus, but it didn't have any like markings on it that I saw. So he steps off with Brandy and his daughter, I believe her name was Liberty. And you could just see it on their faces, dude. They were like deflated. I would not be shocked if they had just been told, listen, Vince is back in charge. He wants to do the whole John Cena thing, and we're going to have you lose tonight, and then you're going to get squashed by Lesnar tomorrow, and we're going to win next year, on WrestleMania 40. It'll be great. Dude, him and Brandy, you could see it written on their faces during the pre-show, I swear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's crazy and it sucks. And it's like, hey man, maybe next time you got to understand that reaching for those brass rings, imaginary brass rings. CM Punk tried to warn him, tried to warn
It's
everyone.
not imaginary. We got the brass ring on top of the ladder match in AEW.
No, but I'm talking about in the Fed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but that was great. That Monday Night Raw, that was the worst Raw after Mania, pretty much of all time. And I think this might have been the best Dynamite after Mania of all time. Because holy shit, this AEW Dynamite here tonight in Long Island was, in my opinion, was incredible. I thought Tony absolutely brought it tonight. And he brought back something that I absolutely missed from back in the day. That theatrical stage MJF, that segment with MJF we'll get to. I absolutely love that stuff, and I hope we get a couple more of those over the next few months of MJF's reign.
So Kook says send the BTP SEAL team to rescue Cody. So like if we're going in to rescue Cody, I'm fucking smacking him across the face before we get out of there. Just like
yeah, right.
Dummy.
Ed says, for what it's worth, it was SRS reported they didn't make the decision for Cody to lose the night of. Yeah, I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I would imagine that they know who their leaker is by now. It's not hard to figure out who leaks things. I bet you they know who it is, and they probably fed that person some info, or they even put that out themselves on purpose to try to not make it look like Vince stepped in on night 2. There was a night and day difference between night 1 and night 2. Night 1 was incredible. I'll be the first to admit it. Night 1 was amazing. Night 2 was just absolute garbage, and the finish, everything, it was all the wrong choices. So, but let's get into the AEW Dynamite review for April 5th. Welcome everybody. Let's give a quick shout out to everyone in chat here. We got the Coog is here. Ed Weber is here. Of course, Nat is here. We also had, what was that name I saw at the very beginning there? Mike Kling, welcome. We've also got Ryan Davis. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. This Dynamite was awesome for MJF Day. And, Rome, I'm surprised that neither of us, even thought of the idea of going to this one. This was the Dynamite that about halfway through, I was like, damn it, I want to be there. I really wanted to be at this Dynamite.
Yeah. It would have been nice. It definitely would have been nice.
If I had thought about it, I would have tried to get us there, you know what I mean? But it just didn't even cross my mind, because New York, it feels out of range, but sometimes New Jersey is just as far, so,
Man,
we'll get it in the future. But we start off with Ricky Starks, man. I love me some Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks makes his way to the ring for his match with Juice Robinson. But before we can have our match, what do we hear? About a minute in is Switchblade Jay White's music. The Bullet Club logo hits the screen, and we get Jay White appearing in AEW with the beatdown of Ricky Starks with Juice Robinson. Looks like we are getting the start of a Bullet Club actually forming in AEW. And it actually looks like we have a new little hand gesture for them. They're no longer doing the little finger kiss thing. They were kind of putting their fingers up in the air like guns. Not like Roman Reigns does. They kept the thumb out like it was a gun, you know what I mean? And put their hands up. So I actually really like that. A little bit of a change. I'm not sure if the other thing's copyrighted or what, but I really, really enjoyed this opening segment for Dynamite.
I mean, yeah, I think you got to look at it like this. You got to think of it like this, right? Like, I think Tony, obviously, number one, in kayfabe, AEW Tony Khan is feuding with Ring of Honor Tony Khan. So they just had Supercard, and he's like, nah, man, gotta get that, gotta sign Jay White before Ring of Honor Tony Khan signs Jay White. But I mean, look, he was probably like, I'm just gonna say it. He probably looks at Mania and he's like, oof, all right, Vince is back. Like, as much of a fraud as Triple H is, again, I will say Triple H did a slightly better job than Vince. Not much better, but slightly enough where people with low standards would be like, wow, man, WWE's watchable. It's like, it's really not if you really stop and look at it, but it's okay. But now Tony Khan's like, now's the opportunity to really get in there and just start punching down, which he absolutely should. They didn't wait a second because Tony knows that everybody was like, Jay White's going to the Fed. Jay White's going to show up and be Cody's tag team partner. It's like, it's almost kind of funny in a way that like WWE's booking is so bad that Tony can almost utilize it. It's almost impressive how Tony can kind of like say like, okay, well they like, there was a lot of rumblings about Jay White being Cody's mystery partner on Raw, and then it ends up being Brock Lesnar. So like people are like, oh, well, we thought it was gonna be Jay White, and then all of a sudden on yesterday, comes out like, yeah, Jay White's not signing with WWE guys, and then tonight, minute into the show, just Jay White. 1 minute in, we weren't 30 seconds into this show, and it's like, all right, here's Jay White.
I was shocked it was that fast. I thought we were going to get it like mid-match maybe, or, towards the end of the match, a little bit of interference. But no, we got it directly before. Didn't even get the match. Just beat down on Ricky Starks. And looks like we're forming a Bullet Club in AEW. And I am absolutely here for it. Jay White hits Ricky Starks with the Blade Runner in the middle of the ring. Absolutely freaking loved it. This was awesome, man. I loved it from beginning to end.
Bullet Club for life.
Yeah. I like how Ed says they were throwing up the L's for Monday night. That's fun. Next up, we had a nice video package for Adam Cole's return. That just, it is what it is. Nice little video package there. Next up, we had a Jericho promo on Adam Cole. And Keith Lee steps in, man, and Keith Lee looked like an absolute freaking tank standing next to Chris Jericho. Like that man, that's a big man, and I can't wait to see him back in the ring. And it looks like it's going to be up against Jericho next. What do you think of that?
For them to do. Once again, I will always respect the booking and AEW and Tony Khan in general. Keith Lee's talking about Adam Cole, and he's like, hey, I know Adam Cole, we've had our wars, and I can tell you that I respect that man. And again, it's just like, don't treat your audience like they're fucking stupid. It's so important not to do that. And you see it. You saw it on Monday night. You saw what it looks like when you treat your audience like they're stupid. It's right. The third lowest rated thing on Cage Match. WWE fans in general, like, to their credit, they're still dumb because they're chanting fire Vince, which Vince can't be fired. So you're not really there. Like I'll give them credit. Like, the wheel is turning, but the hamster's dead. So it's like the wheel's
just like flop, flop, flop.
Yeah, the wheel's turning though. And that's good. That's really good. Like, it's a step in the right direction. But you're still gonna go to the shows. You're still gonna watch the shows. So it doesn't matter what you chant. Anyways, but yeah, I love that Keith Lee is kind of stepping up here. It's a great little match to have while you set up this Jericho Adam Cole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see Keith Lee back in the ring. He's one of my favorites here, so that'll be fantastic. Next up, we had the AEW World Trios Championship, the first of our championship matches here tonight on Dynamite. We had 4 altogether. This was an awesome freaking Dynamite, man. We had the House of Black versus Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends showing up in the van with Sue, man. I know you love that.
So, obviously, everyone wants to talk about, the biggest news stories of the night. And some would say maybe it's Jay White. Some would maybe say it's All In. But no, the biggest news story of tonight is absolutely Sue dropping off the boys to soccer practice.
The return of Sue.
Sue is amazing. Sue is just fantastic. I love the best friends. The best friends are so much fun. Such a great group. Having Sue there is great. Can't wait for Statlander to come back. Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. Sue pulls up and Orange Cassidy sitting in the front seat. Not Trent, but Cassidy is. Because he's probably the favorite. It's just all around awesome. I loved it. And what followed was just an absolute excellent match. I love this match. It was great.
Oh, it was great. My favorite part of the Sue thing and the whole best friends, like on paper, that shouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like if I were to be talking to you, like you're not a huge wrestling fan, and I was like, yeah, so there's these guys, their thing is they're like best friends, and the dude's mom drops them off in a minivan, you'd look at me like, what? But when you actually see it, it's so good. I absolutely love it. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. And like you said, this match, House of Black versus Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, man, this was freaking awesome. When we got to Cassidy and Buddy, I need a singles match between these two for the championship. I really do.
Yeah, man, it was a great match. I really loved the standoff that Malachi Black and Cassidy had, where they're evenly matched. Cassidy's like, come on," and then all of a sudden Cassidy just flips the switch and does his mind games, and he's doing the kicks.
But Gates kicked in the face for his efforts. Gets absolutely obliterated there. But yeah, this was awesome, man. Let's see here. Like they showed the Faction Ingobernables sitting ringside at one point. That was nice. They showed Anna Jay watching backstage. Whenever they cut to Julia Hart, they showed Anna Jay watching her. But we wind up getting Buddy picking up the win with a curb stomp. That's Seth Rollins' move. Does Buddy ever use the curb stomp? I don't remember seeing him use that, but I could just be completely oblivious to that being his normal finisher. That's Seth Rollins' move, and we all know over the weekend Seth Rollins definitely made it known that he's not very happy that Cody just walked in and took his spot.
No, he's not. And there's a few other little things that we'll talk about when we get to him. Not about Seth exactly, but look, man. Here's the thing you gotta understand with the WWE Endeavor merger, acquisition, purchase, whatever you want to call it. If they made it pretty clear that they want the WWE to run like the UFC does. The UFC is notorious for not caring about its fighters in a sense of like they'll underpay them. They don't care if they walk. And I think that's why Vince really sold to Endeavor, because Vince's vision of WWE is that WWE is the star. Nobody gets more over than the company, more over than the brand, more over than the image. And I think that that's how UFC operates. And I think that they both want WWE and UFC to run that way. So I get it, but like, buckle up, man, because I think that there could be a few top names that I just
got chills. Listen to what just went through my mind. Okay. So this is called the House of Black, and we have Malachi Black.
Let's see where you're going here.
Seth's old name is Tyler Black. Could you fucking imagine if they thought this far ahead and were like, yo, what if one day, and they're like, we can score Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, the mastermind of the House of Black, because right now it's kind of like these three are the House of Black, you know what I mean? Nobody feels like a leader, I guess. Maybe Malachi sort of does, but not really.
Leader. What are you talking about? It's the House of Black.
I guess he is, yeah. It just feels like they're all kind of equal at the moment.
No, the faction's named after him, and they clearly they ride shotgun on him all the time.
True.
Yeah, easily.
But man, I'm just like freaking out right now. Like, dude, that would be insane.
No, I get it. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I don't think that they're thinking about that right now. Like,
I know.
We could speculate where Seth, Tyler, whatever. Seth, he's still Seth right now. We can speculate where Seth's head's at right now. Ed said it in 2021. Seth said he had 4 years left on his contract. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything right now. I mean, with acquisitions and mergers comes budget cuts. And again, if they're going to run it like UFC, don't be surprised if they say, okay, Seth, go ahead, walk. I don't
they
think
wouldn't.
Grant has
I
released
mean,
either, but you never know. They might want to save money. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's definite or likely. I'm just saying
no, yeah.
it's a possibility.
I've been wondering if there's any sort of like, because of this merger and purchase, like, is there any sort of a clause that's like you can opt out of your contract if you didn't like it or something like that? But I have no idea. I doubt it. You know what I
I
mean?
doubt it as well. Again, it's just, and we don't know. I mean, the Grizzled Young Veterans apparently have not been granted their release. Actually, Fightful is
No, yeah,
saying,
they just asked.
yeah, they asked, and apparently that they told people that they had gotten it. So I wonder if there was some miscommunication there, where they did get it, and then they said, "Well, wait a second, we want to take a step back and really look at everything before we make cuts and let people go." And
Yeah,
Ed, you're
yeah,
not wrong. I'm not saying it's likely or anything like that. I'm just saying,
yeah. I
think
doubt it
about it.
too.
I mean, if they're trying to cut costs and he doesn't want to be there, and they don't want him there, and they don't care if people walk, which they might, they probably will if they're going to run it like the UFC.
A boy can dream is all I could say. You know.
Well, I'm gonna kind of do you one better in the next segment. So go ahead, keep going.
All right. Well, next up we had one of the coolest 30-second segments I have ever seen. They go to show Christian Cage and they say, "Will Christian finally speak since Revolution?" But he does not speak. He's standing in front of a red door. And who comes out of this red door but Luchasaurus, looking absolutely incredible. And they just look at the camera and cut away. Man, I have never liked such a short segment so much in my life. I absolutely loved that.
So I also loved it. However, let's talk for a second, Jeff.
Bring it, because I have no idea where you're going with this.
So we do this often here, where I'm always looking for meaning in things, and also the people I follow on Twitter are also always looking at things. There was some speculation here tonight, Jeff. So do you remember?
Speculation, you say?
Do you remember before the Jack Perry Christian Cage buried alive, whatever they call final burial match? Did you remember in the Christian Cage promo he said, "You're nothing like Adam"?
Yes.
Okay, so Edge wrestled at WrestleMania, did he not?
Sure did.
What was his entrance?
Well, it was half and half. It was Brood Edge, and then it was I guess regular Edge.
So Brood Edge. Some people are speculating that the fact that Christian Cage had Luchasaurus come through a red door, giving some brutish type vibes. Some people are speculating that this is the continuation of a tease that perhaps Adam Copeland maybe wants to finish his career with his best friend Christian Cage.
Okay. So the way that I took this was, you know how a lot of people have been making Luchasaurus comparisons to Kane?
Sure.
It just felt like Kane to me. I was just like, okay, red light, we got Kane going on. Like I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? I think it's a red mask now.
So I would give you devil's advocate here and argue there is no chance in hell Luchasaurus or AEW want Luchasaurus compared to Kane in 2023.
Okay, well, I mean,
Dude is largely unpopular with his stances on things right now.
Yeah, we're not talking about the person, you know what I'm saying?
But no, I understand. But that's what people do. So I don't think for 1 second that they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, let's do Kane. Like I don't.
I'm just saying it followed the what I've always thought of, like the comparison. You know what I mean? That was the first thing that came to my mind. You know, so
no, I get it.
I like
what
Matt says: red door, forbidden door, kind of like that. Yeah.
I thought it was a really cool segment. I thought it was awesome. I think the repackaging of Luchasaurus looked really awesome. Maximizing your seconds. It was very short, very brief, but it was really good.
Yeah. All right, next up, we had the AEW Women's Championship, our second championship match of the night. We had our champion, Jamie Hayter, versus Riho. And man, the crowd absolutely ignited for this match, dude. This crowd was like, this was like a main event of a freaking pay-per-view for this crowd. They were they cranked the volume to 11. Like it was awesome. So we had a great match here. Riho had a freaking awesome monster leap off the top rope to the outside. Took out Jamie Hayter. Like that crossbody that Riho does to the outside and the way that Jamie Hayter takes it. They've been doing that since back in the, first year. Remember when people thought that the way Jamie Hayter was like taking those crossbodies looked a little like too real, like it was dangerous? And I'm like, dude, she's been doing it the same way for years. She's got it so perfected. It looks incredible when she takes that crossbody.
Yeah. This was a really good match. I enjoyed this match thoroughly. This was an excellent match.
Yeah, absolutely. We got an awesome Hurricane Rana off the top rope from Riho with her double stomps to the chest. Only a 2.999 count on that one. Jamie Hayter actually had to put her boot on the rope. Jamie Hayter gets up and winds up smoking Riho with the Haterade, but Riho kicks out at 2.999 for that one. But Jamie Hayter she just kind of hulked up real quick and she absolutely annihilated Riho with a second Haterade within about 30 seconds of that first one. Picks up the 1, 2, 3. Jamie Hayter retains, and man, this Riho is amazing. Everybody loves Riho. I mean, what can you say? She's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely agree.
All right. Next up, we had Renee Paquette in the back with the Outcasts. I really liked their outfits that they had going on here. They were all in some sort of a camo, you know what I mean? Like it was their normal outfits, but whatever colors they used to have were replaced with camouflage. I liked it. Looked good.
So, here's something else for you that people were picking up on. More so this than the Christian Cage thing. So during the segment, the Outcasts say that there is some much needed control in AEW. And I'm not doing it after the Mercedes thing, but
What'd they say? There's much needed control.
yeah, they were saying the AEW, like there's an issue and there's much needed control. Obviously speculation about Bailey and damage control.
Oof.
So I'm not doing it yet because the Mercedes thing happened, and obviously there was speculation that they just couldn't reach a deal at the time. So who knows? But we'll see.
Dude, I'm telling you, if I get Mercedes Vernado, Mercedes Monet, and Bailey, whatever she may call herself, if I get them in AEW, this will be like scoring Bryan Danielson for me. Like I will be through the roof. You know what I mean?
I completely agree with you. Bailey is. We talked about in the Discord. I can't remember who asked, but someone asked my top 5 if I could take them from WWE and bring them to AEW. Bailey is in my top 5. So,
dude, Bailey versus Sasha at NXT Takeover in the, I think it was an Iron Woman match, is one of my top women's matches of all time. So to get those two, like I would be in women's wrestling heaven.
That is the best women's wrestling match that company has ever put on. Period.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Next up, the Outcast cut a decent promo on Jamie Hayter for retaining her championship, and all three of them said they wanted a shot. Renee Paquette kind of like tried to throw a wrench in there, like, oh, well, which one of you is going to go after the belt? There's only one belt, and they just kind of shoot her off, and that was that. Next up, we had Daddy Magic, and he was there ready to ask the audience if they knew what made his nipples hard, and it was the Acclaimed joining the Jericho Appreciation Society, apparently. But the Acclaimed come out. Max Caster cuts one of his better raps. I actually really liked this one. I thought this was a great rap. He said JAS stands for Just Acclaimed Scissorin. I like that one. That was good. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of this segment here?
I really enjoyed it. Thought it was really funny. It leads to a match on Rampage. It was good. It's really good. I have enjoyed the Acclaimed JAS stuff. I know a lot of people don't like JAS. It's fine. But I think this has been a really good match, and also keeping Jericho out of it and letting like the peons of the JAS kind of deal with it is a nice little touch where it's like Jericho's too busy to be dealing with this. So this, the JAS can like fracture off and do different things. And I've enjoyed that. Real quick, just a few little things for you that's going on Twitter. They're taping Ring of Honor TV right now. The first match after Dynamite was Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros versus Shane Taylor and the Workhorsemen.
Ooh, nice.
So ROH Tony Khan has invaded the building and is now booking his show to counter program AEW. Really funny tweet I'm just looking at right now, Jeff, and I want to tell it to you because I just love it. So they said, that was a great episode of Dynamite, but imagine how much better it would have been if FTR lost so they could overcome 3 more years of adversity in WWE before returning to AEW to win the titles for real. And that's why Cody Rhodes losing is bad booking, folks.
Oh man. I don't want to get off track, but that's just a great example of being so stubborn that you had an idea for something and then you just didn't realize that nope, there's a way better idea that's fallen into our lap. You just completely missed it. You know what I mean? It's like when you throw out some of those nice jokes and they just go like right over my head. That's basically what happened there.
Way too often, to be honest.
Yeah, what can I say? But the Acclaim now. So did they agree to a match here? Like you were saying that they agreed to a match on Rampage. It felt like they said no to the match, but
so they said no, they weren't joining the JAS, and then 2.0 was like, sounds like you want to fight with us.
Oh, that's right. So it's going to be 4-on-4, but I thought they said no to it is what I was thinking.
No, they didn't say no to the 8-man tag. I mean, again, you want to keep the kayfabe in mind. I'm sure they're not going to turn down the winner's purse. They're gonna want to have that match, wrestle on TV and win some money. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, we'll see. All right, next up was a small recap of the Jay White debut in AEW, and I thought for sure that they were going to tell us, Jay White is all elite here, but they didn't really say anything. They just did a quick recap of him showing up. But by that time we had already gotten the Twitter graphic. I'm assuming everybody already knew by then. But we did get the graphic on the old Twitter. Jay White is all elite. I'm so happy for this. And, listen, you call me the flip-flopper, this whole time I've been flip-flopping on it. But remember, I kept saying I don't think he's going to the Fed. I really didn't think he was going there. Couple times because of the hype, I was just like, all right, whatever, it's going to be him. Here we go. And, it wound up not seeing Jay White at all over the weekend. Not even a mention of him backstage, apparently, from what was that, PWI that reported that? Not even a mention of him.
We could touch on it again, but man, even Sean Ross Sapp said it on Twitter. What a fumble from WWE to not get Jay White, to not land him. Like that is an all-time fumble for them. Just
I don't understand what they're thinking. Other than Vince is back and he doesn't like small guys. That's just how it is. Like.
Coog says 3 years of adversity overcoming the rubber chicken. Oh my God, that rubber chicken.
Dude, whoever threw that.
Chicken. First of all, I just need to say this, right? On the platform that I have here on the internet. If you're out there, whoever you are that threw that rubber chicken at Cody Rhodes, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate you as a human being and the work you've done for us. I just want you to know how much happiness you've created in the world. Like I'm tearing up right now, like as we speak. I'm pulling a Jeff. I'm getting really emotional about this. But like you're a hero, sir or ma'am, whichever it is. And if you want to remain anonymous, that's okay. But just know the amount of lives that you've touched this weekend into the week. I need a moment.
Absolutely, man. I am so with you. I was like, whoever threw that, you have the aim of the gods, or they guided your chicken missile perfectly onto the mat right next to his freaking head. Like that could not have gone any better. Like it was just, That's a moment in wrestling history that I think he is going to regret, like, big time. Like,
I
even the
think
losing and all of that aside, that chicken moment, he's going to be like, why the fuck did that happen to me? You know what I mean?
and what's even better is he sold it. Like he got hit in the head with it, I think, and he sold it. He was like, oh.
Well, yeah, he probably grabbed his head like, something hit me in the head. But then he looked over and saw the chicken, and he probably freaking swiped it out of the ring as quick as he could. But
I have done as much as I could to share as many memes as I've seen in the Discord, to the point
and
where I've been spamming the Discord.
the
But
photo of the rubber chicken with the neck tattoo, I died when I saw it. I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. It was so funny.
yeah, it was hilarious. It was
All
great.
right. Next up, we were celebrating MJF Day on Long Island. This was freaking awesome. We had Mick Rogers, I think he said his name was, Mick Rogers and his band, playing for MJF, singing Pennies from Heaven in the style of like Frank Sinatra and, Dean Martin and those guys from the old lounge singing days. This is what I missed from the old AEW. You know what I mean? That segment with MJF and Jericho from back in the day was one of my favorite things ever. This was right there with it. I absolutely loved it, and I'm so glad we went back to some of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was just such an excellent segment for MJF. I mean, obviously he's in Long Island. You always want to go, go big, go bombastic with MJF here in Long Island. And they did that. I mean, and I don't think they could have done it much better. I don't know what you could have done differently in this segment to make it better. Obviously, he comes out. He is dressed up like he was in Dinner Debonair. He sings Pennies from Heaven, has a whole live band. I did not know that AEW middle thing lifts. I don't know if we've seen that happen yet, but they do it well, I mean, I guess theoretically that's how they probably
You're right. The band was behind the centerpiece of the stage.
Yeah, so keep that in mind, folks. You never know when they're going to use that again for like a surprise or something.
Dude, that could be a sick entrance for someone. Oof.
Yeah, it just lifts up, and the band's there. I thought that was great. Thought it was really funny, really awesome. And then MJF, who can sing, does Penny from Heaven. He's having a blast. The crowd loves it. The crowd's doing the shooby dooby part of the song.
So good.
Now, at this point, Jeff, I do have to stop, interrupt MJF Day for. You have to think that the AEW production crew did this on purpose. They had to have. But they cut to the crowd, and in the shot of the crowd is a fan holding a sign, and that sign says, LMAO Cody.
Yeah.
And
somebody definitely said, yo, cut to camera 7 for sure. There's no doubt.
And bro, when I tell you that like this has just been the birthday gift that just keeps on giving. I am waiting for it to stop. Like I'm waiting for the high to go down where I'm just not loving every moment of my wrestling fandom because of these memes. And it hasn't happened yet. It's Wednesday. Like
Man.
we've gone at this point Sunday night into Monday into Tuesday, and it's the end of Wednesday. And I'm still getting a good, I'm not even at the chuckle part yet. I'm at the I am still full blown laughing part. That's how amazing this has been. But anyways, so MJF also receives a key to Long Island. The politician's there, who gets booed. Loved
Joe
it.
Saladino gets booed so hard.
The crowd's chanting lower taxes. That was great. MJF's like, don't mess this up for me.
That was great.
They say April 5th is now MJF Day in Long Island or on Long Island. I think it's how the Long Islanders say it. I thought this was perfect. MJF gets on the mic. He says, this isn't a villain origin story or anything. I'm MJF 24/7. He goes on to say that he has ADD and he had a teacher in school named Mrs. Benedict who basically bullied him. She would pick on him in class. One day after class, she asks him, where does your mind go when you're not paying attention in school? And he says, pro wrestling. He says that he dreams of being the world champion. Teacher says that the odds of that happening are slim to none. MJF closes with saying, don't be like Mrs. Benedict. Don't be a stupid bitch.
Don't be a stupid bitch.
That's a clip right there. We got to get a clip of that. Don't be a stupid bitch.
Oh, dude, we definitely got to make that into a GIF that I can pop up on the. Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. So afterwards, MJF goes to leave, and he says, "Let's do an encore." One of the bandmates has the cymbals right behind MJF. MJF says, "We practiced this for months. What are you doing?" And who is it? But Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And they just start going at it. So originally, I'm watching this segment, and I thought to myself, "Oh man, Sammy Guevara really should have been the one to interrupt MJF here because of the heat that he would have gotten." I do change my stance after the match that comes up here, but Sammy does come out, does get a heel reaction in Long Island, as did Jack Perry, because they are in Long Island, and yeah.
Yeah, it was fine, you know. I'm just, we won't get into the Sammy thing here, you know what I mean? But Sammy came out for his match, and it was Sammy versus Commander, and they had a freaking incredible match. But as Sammy was walking out, MJF and Jungle Boy were still kind of fighting, and Sammy just picked up the belt and he held it up, you know, and the crowd just was not having it. They booed, so he walks over to Jungle Boy, shows it to him, walks over to MJF, shows it to him, who flips out. But he hands the belt back to MJF and he walks to the ring for his match. And man, Sammy and Commander are both incredible. You know what I'm saying? Commander, his rope walking and his high flying is just, it's on Dante's level, obviously. But this dude's fantastic. I can't wait to see this guy in the next few years.
I mean, honestly, the amount of matches at this point that Commander's worked for Tony, you got to think that you got to think there's some mutual interest there in getting signed, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's either committed or signed or something like that.
I mean, because it's not even like he just did a one-off. Like, it's not even like he did like the Dragon Lee thing where he like did a one-off and then pieced out. Like,
he's had multiple matches. This got to be his third, fourth, maybe even fifth that I know of.
it's his third. He wrestled at Supercard, which to be fair was a AAA championship match, but and then he wrestled in the ladder match. So this is his third match, and I don't know. It's just something that's worth taking note of.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this was a great match. I mean, both these guys are just super talented in the ring. I mean, the match alone really makes your take on Sammy silly at this point. But we'll get into it after the promo.
No, you don't understand. It's like it's not the matches at all. It's just the way that the crowds don't care anymore. We got to figure out something with the dude. Like,
this dude gets booed out of the building every single place he goes, and then can't "you still suck" during his matches. If the crowd
but they're saying that after he does something incredible.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, we still don't like you as a heel. Like, if they didn't give a fuck about him, they would not chant "you still suck." Like, that is like Jeff, I think you do this often where you're misinterpreting heel heat and go away heat. Like, I will not lie to you. When last year started and they were doing the whole Scorpio thing and Kazarian thing, that was go away heat. The people just legitimately didn't want them on their TVs. As time has gone on and Sammy has continued to shine as a performer, while my personal preference is he is the weakest of the pillars, like I do think that. I much prefer Darby and Jack and MJF. I'm not going to sit here and say that Sammy's not an incredible performer, especially inside the ring. Now, does his presentation, in terms of how he presents his promos, that is where I think he stumbles the most, just because of his style of speaking. But I don't think it's necessarily bad. Is it a home run? No, but it doesn't need to be a home run because of how awesome he is in the ring. This dude is an incredible in-ring talent who he's meant to be a heel. Like, I don't think Sammy Guevara as a babyface really works most of the time, but when he's a heel, when he's like a douchebag, shithead heel, that is where Sammy is at his best. And you saw that tonight. But then you also saw, is there anything else you want to talk about the match itself?
Nope.
Okay. So Sammy ends up winning, as he is, because they're working towards this 4-way dance. And he goes on, he grabs a mic, and he said, "Hey guys, I just did something the champ doesn't do. I wrestled." He's like, "We go back to 2021, in Jacksonville. I had you beat. you had to have Shawn Spears come out and win the match for you. And he said, we're all the pillars. We're meant to. We've brought the company up, and it's our job to elevate the company to greater heights, to continue to build the company.
So here's part of my point, though. Sorry to interrupt you here.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's being a babyface here. He's not getting heel heat from the crowd. He's a babyface right now.
Okay, so my rebuttal to that is Jack Perry got fucking booed tonight because they're in Long Island, Jeff. They are
I
in
get that too.
Island. CM Punk has been booed in Long Island. Jack Perry booed in Long Island. If you are feuding with MJF when they go to Long Island, it is Bizarro World. It is Brett in Calgary. It is it's like Shawn and Brett in the 90s, where like if you were in the United States, everybody fucking hated Bret Hart and loved Shawn Michaels. And then as soon as you cross that border to go to Canada, it was a flip. It was everyone loved Bret and hated Shawn. That's what this is, Jeff. And you're acting like this Long Island thing is brand new. They've been doing Long Island since year 1 of AEW, I believe.
Okay, now let me concede that it was Long Island. Would you be willing to make a bet with me that it's not going to continue in the next city they go to?
Well, so I would rebuttal and say, if you remember the Four Pillars promo, Sammy did let a little bit of babyface shine, and he did get cheers from him before having to turn back heel and shit on. I believe they were in Milwaukee. No, maybe not Milwaukee. Where were they? Like in that original at the Rebar Mitzvah. Like Sammy did get a babyface reaction. Like I understand, Jeff, but like what you're basing your opinion off of is the fact that he's a heel most of the time. Like you said, the last 6 months. Like yes, he's been a heel.
I know.
However, he is at the same time, for the sake of this storyline, MJF is the ultimate heel. So Sammy's still going to be a shithead heel, but for the dynamic to work, he's going to have to come out a little bit and get some crowd on his side. See you later, Nat.
Later, Nat. Have a good one.
So here's my thing. So going on with the promo, he says, we're the pillars. We're supposed to be building up the company, but your side wasn't built by you. It was built by the people that you lied to get here. First, you were Cody's friend. Then you weren't. Then you were Tony's friend. Then you weren't. And then you were with the Inner Circle. And then you weren't. And then the Pinnacle. And then the Firm. You sold your soul to get here. I love AEW, says Sammy. I'm not here to go somewhere else. And I just continue to really appreciate and love that the pillars outside of MJF, whether they're a babyface or they're a heel, they understand the importance and the responsibility that comes with being a pillar. They are not here to go somewhere else. These 3 guys are AEW lifers. They are not going anywhere. And I enjoyed Sammy's promo. I think that Sammy hit all the points he needed to hit. Again, I think his speaking style doesn't always do him a lot of credit, especially when it's a babyface promo. It's easier when he's a heel to just be like, "Hey, screw you, I'm the man."
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? I understand where you're coming from, but for you to take the fact that he's a heel and to take his reaction tonight in Long Island, which you said it was silence. I don't know what you were watching because this man was constantly being drowned out by boos because they're in Long Island and he's feuding with MJF. I just didn't see it. I thought he went out there, he wrestled a fantastic match against Commander, and then he hits this promo that, again, like, this is another week where I really love all these promos that they're doing in the Four Pillars storyline, where it's just like, man, it's just great. You had Jack Perry kind of touching on it too, and then you have Sammy do the same thing, but from a different angle. Like Jack Perry last week's talking about how you always take the easy way out, Max. And now Sammy is elaborating on that, saying you always take the easy way out, Max, by using other people to get to where you are. You haven't done it yourself. And I thought that it was really good. Again, is Sammy an excellent promo? No, I don't think he's an excellent promo. But I think, number one, this is the best promo he's ever done that I could think of. And then number two, it feeds into the storyline.
It might be the longest I've seen him on the mic in the ring. So, I mean, that's all great. Just for whatever reason, I'm just kind of like, whatever, man. I want to see Jungle Boy. I want to see Darby. I got to see like 1 second of Darby up in the rafters. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want Darby. Give me Darby.
Another nice touch. I loved that they were all watching again. You had MJF in the back watching, Jack Perry watching, Darby up in the rafters watching. I love that Sting wasn't there. It was just Darby in the rafters. I
Yeah,
thought that
just Darby up there.
was just Darby. I think it all also kind of continues to coincide with this storyline where Sting's just trying to enjoy his last year, and Darby's like, "Yeah, I understand, man, but there's something else that I got to do right now."
Yeah, Ed says it was quiet till the last 30 seconds. I think I started writing my stuff before he started using the, whatever he said towards the end there, the cheap heat, I guess, what Ed was saying. I was kind of writing that before he finished anyway. But, I do agree with you guys. It was not a bad promo. I'm just over it, I guess. I wish there was a reset on Sammy. We never really got any sort of a reset on him. We just had to tried to fix the heat rather than,
See, this is the problem, Jeff. This is why I call you a flip-flopper, because we were talking about it a few weeks ago.
I absolutely was.
I wish I would write these timestamps down, but the truth is out there on the internet, folks, here on youtube.com/The Broken Tables Podcast.
I remember speaking the words, man. I'll admit it.
I'm like, oh man, Sammy, he's great. I don't even care about the
I'm like, he's great in the ring. I don't know why people won't get back behind him, and I'm finally sucked into whatever that vortex is, so.
All I'm saying is, Jeff, form your own opinions. You know what I mean, man? Like, dude, just be you. Do you,
Yeah, I got you.
And then
it was a great match. Can't take that away at all. It was a freaking awesome match. Next up, we had Hook versus Ethan Page. And, a lot of Hook matches are really quick. They're over in about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I was hoping we were going to get the first match with Hook where it actually took a little while here. We got a good 10, 15 minutes in the ring. But Matt Hardy, ringside, comes up with the FTW belt and absolutely annihilates Ethan as he's running the ropes. I was not expecting this. That allows Hook to lock in the red rum while basically Ethan's already knocked out. They did the whole 3 count of his arm being dropped thing. Hook wins, and Matt Hardy is apparently turned on Ethan Page. I can't wait to see Matt versus Ethan.
Yeah, well, so obviously everyone would have preferred this to not be a squash. I think that this makes sense as a squash, so I'm okay with it. They didn't do it tonight, but there's clearly something going on here because for those paying attention, Matt Hardy drew up this contract, and they really emphasized, oh man, Stokes not here. I don't know how to draw up contracts, says Ethan Page. Matt, can you take care of this? And Matt's like, this is the contract where you're going to get what you deserve. So, I mean, clearly there is some sort of stipulation in the contract where Matt was very eager to make sure that Ethan Page lost. And Hook clearly was in on it. So, I mean, obviously he uses the twist of fate. They all leave together. I'm expecting the next time we see these guys for Ethan Page to be like, what the hell, man? You're under contract. I thought we were friends, but whatever, screw you. You were under contract. So you're going to be home for the rest of your life, your career. And Matt's going to be like, oh, you should have read the contract because Isaiah and my contracts were on the line in that match. That's what's good. They're going to go that route. That's what
they have to.
Otherwise, it's well, why? You know what I mean? Why would Matt turn on him at this point?
That's a great point, though. I didn't think about that.
So yeah, I was a little surprised that they didn't touch on it here, but I mean, I trust that this is the way they're going. It's the way that makes sense. So therefore, it's probably the way they're going. But this is
probably
the way that they booked it made sense for it to be a squash. Obviously, having Matt deck Ethan with the belt, I'm okay with it. I think it works. It's good. I know some people think Ethan Page is underutilized. Again, I'm cool with it in the context of what happened.
Okay. Yep, me too. Can't wait to see Matt versus Ethan because I think that's got to happen after this, so that'll be great. Next up, it was time for Tony Khan's big announcement. Nigel McGuinness with Tony Khan backstage. Nigel McGuinness was announced as the newest member of the announce team, so we were all kind of speculating in Discord there of where he may wind up, but they just said announce team for now. What'd you think of that one?
Did they say announce team? I thought they.
Yeah, Excalibur said the newest member of our announce team, Nigel McGuinness with Tony Khan.
He's cleared to wrestle.
He is, but We'll see.
I think there's more to that than that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. So Tony Khan and Nigel McGuinness, they talk about this announcement, and Tony Khan announces that on August 27th in London at Wembley fucking Stadium, AEW All In. Obviously, this is a huge announcement for many reasons. People can say they don't like the announcement. That doesn't mean it's not a big announcement. This is a massive announcement. This went from the London show just being a Dynamite to it's a pay-per-view. And not only is it a pay-per-view, it's All In, which they finally own the rights to because Ring of Honor owned that name. So now they have the rights to it, which is just incredibly magical for it to come full circle in that way. I just, and you know what? I just really love the choice to name this All In. It's, the first All In was like, oh, you can't sell 10,000 tickets to an indie wrestling show. Like, this is the next step for them. This is like, can you sell out a stadium?
So
And I really think they can.
Wembley holds almost 90,000. Now, with
Yeah.
the big stage, which we know they're going to make, we're probably going to be down to somewhere around, I'd say between 70 to 80,000 seats in here. I think they can pull it off. I really do.
I really do as well. I'm so excited for them, and this is like, it's just awesome. As someone who I've said it before, as someone who got into AEW ground floor day one, you feel like you're part of something. You feel like I feel like I'm connected to it, and it's special. So like obviously, apart from the fact that I enjoy the product, like I want to see them succeed. And I want to see them grow and do well. And this is just such a special moment for them. Just an awesome moment. They're gonna do All In. I'm probably gonna cry when they do BTE that week. Like I'm probably gonna be like in tears when they're like walking around. Like, wow, man, we're about to do this. This is a big moment for them.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
But yeah, I mean, this is going to be huge, and we know from past experiences. I would say buckle up, Tony Khan, when he's swinging for the fences. Man, he's usually knocking them out of the park here, and
Yeah, absolutely.
he's got to sell those tickets.
What's funny is in Discord, I kind of was like, what if he's going to announce that he sold out or he landed the O2? You know what I mean? Like that was one of my things. I thought this was going to be announcing London, but I thought it was the O2 arena. He blew me away. The O2 arena only holds 20 to 25,000. He blew my, what I thought it was going to be out of the water with Wembley. I'm absolutely shocked. That was his announcement. That was amazing. And this is going to be Wembley's 100th anniversary, man. So Wembley's going to assist them in putting on a big show. This is going to be a big deal. This is going to be their WrestleMania. This is going to be AEW's new, I don't want to call it WrestleMania, but that's the only word to describe it to you at the moment. This is our big show.
Yeah, so you had speculated that, and I don't know exactly where I am on that necessarily. Could it be the WrestleMania? Yeah, it absolutely could be. Could this just be, the next line of like, are they going to do one overseas show a year and it's called All In? I don't know. It is kind of weird that All Out happens 2 weeks later.
I mean, All In is in August. I'm going to Forbidden Door at the end of June. That's out of the country. We got 2 back-to-back pay-per-views out of the country, and then All Out. Like,
yeah,
bang,
well,
bang, bang.
What I'm saying is, I do think the timing is a little weird to have back-to-back pay-per-views 2 weeks apart.
Oh, I got you.
You gotta wonder, like, well, what are they doing? So here's the thing. Obviously, All Out's important. And they're trying to reportedly do the United Center for All Out. So that's another arena. That's a big arena. That's a big venue. And obviously doing one abroad and doing one home, I wouldn't be super concerned with ticket sales. But you gotta wonder, like, what matches are they not going to do at All In so that way they have a pay-per-view card at All Out? Like,
Good point.
that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like what's the plan here? Like, And I'm not saying they can't do it. It's definitely going to be a challenge for them, but it's definitely something they can do. But I'm very intrigued um to see.
Yeah.
Ed says it's got to be the Wembley availability. It's a stadium that just sits empty for months at a time. Um yeah, and I don't know, man. I don't know what their plan is here. I don't know what the card's going to look like for All Out. Does All Out suffer because of All In? And it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what the roster looks like, honestly, at that point. And not only is this 100 years for Wembley, it's 100 years for Warner Brothers as well. So they might help put on a big show for this. Also, it's like a big old celebration all the way around.
Yeah,
Ooh, maybe they do their own version of the G1 at All In and All Out. Make it too.
that would be really
Wow.
cool. I would really be down for that.
Yeah. That'd be nice if we buy one pay-per-view, we get the other, you know what I'm saying? Like if
Oh,
we buy all.
no, that's not
Yeah,
happening.
two back to back though. That's really stressing the wallet at this point with some people.
I would say I enjoy the product enough where I could do it, but that also means I
Yeah.
get Curly's like 2 weeks in a row, so I'm down for that.
Yeah. That,
That sounds like a
that
good
gift
time.
card that gift card will be coming in handy.
Oh, yeah, no, it's gonna be spent before that. What are you talking about? It's gonna be gone by
Nah,
next month.
I pay for the Curlies when that happens, but
Well, yeah, but I
yeah,
paid for
so
pay-per-view.
big announcement. I think it was absolutely worth it. 100% worth the big Tony talking about having a big announcement. This was a big deal all the way around.
Wait a second. Wait, Ed just said, "Oh my God!" Ed in the chat says, or this is the biggest sign that Punk is coming back. They need the biggest draw in company history to move 65,000 tickets in the UK, then turn around and sell pay-per-view buys in Chicago. Ed, welcome to the team, my friend. We are back. We are so fucking back. CM Punk's going to sell out Wembley Stadium. He's going to sell out the United Center. This is amazing. This is
Well,
great.
hold on. So how does CM Punk sell out Wembley without revealing his return first? I think he debuts back at Wembley and then the United Center sells out.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think CM Punk's back by May.
Okay.
I think CM Punk comes back at Double or Nothing. I think that the plan is, here's what I think. So, especially with FTR winning tonight, and based off the news that came out from the Observer late last week, that before the Instagram post, CM Punk did have there was a thing in place for Punk to return where he was like making up with people and stuff like that. So here's what I think they're gonna do. I think that Punk is coming back. I think that Punk is doing what he needs to do to get on the right side of the locker room. And I think that right now you're having the BCC, which we're about to talk about. The BCC right now is feuding with the Elite, so that way the Elite can come together. So that way Punk can return, and then that's the feud that goes into All Out or All In, excuse me, or maybe both, maybe All In and All Out.
Yeah.
But that's what I would say. I would expect to see CM Punk at Double or Nothing after the BCC versus the Elite match.
I love Ed.
What do you say? You just gotta be delicate since like little feelings will get hurt in those formats. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. But let's move on here. Next up was the Blackpool Combat Club versus Three Jobbers, and I'm not even sure they ever said these guys' names, did they?
No,
Yeah,
they
they
didn't.
did not say these dudes' names. I think Taz mentioned one of their names while he was getting a beatdown, but that was about it. Wheeler Yuta picks up the win, tapping one of them out with a nasty label lock. And Bryan Danielson gets on the mic, and he keeps calling everyone in AEW a bunch of amateurs, and he just kept saying it. And I actually loved this one, man. When he said how he loves Wheeler Yuta, even though he's a little shithead, I laughed so hard when he said that. I fucking love Bryan Danielson, man.
Well, I mean, again, that kind of ties in with the issues that the BCC was having when Regal left, where Yuta was like, Yuta and Danielson were having some issues.
Yeah.
But that's how they explain it. That's like, hey, man, he's a shithead, but like he's like I love him. He's part of my family. Yeah, this is really excellent from just start to finish. How you had the Blackpool Combat Club come in and destroy these geeks, and I like Danielson kind of being the vocal point.
Yeah.
He's like, we're the only professional wrestlers here. You see these geeks? It looks like a bunch of people that the EVPs hired, that was great. Hangman comes out to take them all on by himself. They obviously beat him down with the numbers, and they say, "No one loves you, Hangman. No one loves you like we love each other. No one's here for you. You're all alone." And when I tell you that I was like screaming at the TV, I was like, Kenny, come on, man. He needs you. He fucking needs you. Kenny does not show up. Danielson pulls out a screwdriver and says that sometimes the house needs to get fixed up, and the house that is AEW needs to be fixed up. And Danielson gouges out Hangman's eye with a fucking screwdriver. I also love Danielson taking a shot at the Fed. So here's the thing, right? Bryan Danielson, this motherfucker, definitely watched Mania and then the Raw after, and he was disgusted. Like he had to have been. Like he had specifically that Raw after Mania. He had to have been sitting there like with his family, and he's just like, what? Because Danielson goes and says, "Hell, after this past weekend, we're the only professional wrestlers in America." Clearly,
Yeah.
a shot at WWE by saying like after this past weekend. Um,
Now,
this was excellent. They wouldn't let Doc Samson in the ring to look at him. This was fun.
now I have one small problem with what went on here.
Okay.
What kind of a dumb fuck is Hangman Page for just getting in the ring with 4 dudes that he knows are about to just beat his ass? I'm sorry.
He's a man. He's a fighter, Jeff. We don't all run from a problem.
No, he's a fucking idiot. That is not being a man.
We don't all
That is
run
being a
from a problem like
dumbass.
some people who ran from Vegas. He probably owes a bunch of money to one of the casinos in Vegas. So I'm gonna move to Philadelphia. It's gonna be great.
What did CM Punk call Hangman in that one in that fucking brawl out shit? Did he call him a dumb airheaded fuck? That's exactly what ran through my brain when he got in that ring. That was fucking dumb.
Well, maybe it was booked that way for Punk to say that. No,
dude, I couldn't believe it.
The problem is, I get your argument, but you got to look at it as like Hangman is, and we've talked about it. Hangman Adam Page is the protagonist of AEW.
Yeah.
So when you have the Blackpool Combat Club basically shitting on the EVPs, they've already jumped his friends, they've jumped the Bucks, they've jumped Kenny. Hangman is going to stand up for his friends, even if that means he gets his ass beat. That is the way Hangman operates. He is a die-hard loyal friend who is going to be there for his friends. And here's the thing. The Bucks, Matt's got a partially torn bicep. Nick's got the separated shoulder. I would argue that in the kayfabe, Kenny's probably in the building. I would say that.
Yeah.
I think that there's a good chance that in the kayfabe, Kenny is in the building.
Okay.
And maybe he expects Kenny to be there for him. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if next week you see a promo where Hangman says, like, where were you, man? Like they were shitting on you guys. They were shitting on us. They were shitting on our company. And I needed you. Where were you? Again, I think they're leading towards a story where you're going to see them all come together. But, yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying as well. But, I mean, that's just Hangman standing up for his friends. Even if he means he's going to get a black eye, or in this case, a screwdriver to the eye, he's going to stand up for his friends.
What I was thinking, like, what I would want to say that what I would have done would have changed what the Blackpool Combat Club was saying about Hangman. Like, they were saying nobody loves you, nobody's your friend. I was like, dude, he's obviously got friends in the Dark Order. They should have had him backstage being like, listen, I never ask you guys for anything, but I need your fucking help tonight, you know?
Here's the thing, right? I'm going to counterpoint that because Ed also says it. Like, was the Dark Order not there? If they're on BTE, then this rationalization breaks down. Here's the thing. Jeffrey Vegas, did you watch BTE last week?
I did.
Or wait, maybe it was the week before when Stu got jumped. It was the week before.
Yes. When they
Okay.
were over there talking to each other like a bunch of dummies.
Yeah, because they are. They're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
So Stu is like down the hall getting the shit kicked out of him, and the Dark Order like, hey, we're trying to film a BT bit over here. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny, but like, there you go. That's how you rationalize it. Like, yeah, the Dark Order are a bunch of geeks. John Silver walks around talking about shrimp-sized penises. Like, yes, I'm sorry, the Dark Order are a bunch of geeks.
Oh,
They
Coach
just-
missed the announcement. His power went out for the second hour. Ouch, Coach. The announcement was a show in London, England, August 27th at Wembley Stadium, bro. Wembley holds up to 90,000 people.
It's a pay-per-view too, Coach. It's a
Yeah,
pay-per-view,
pay-per-view.
and it's
All
called
in.
All In, just like the inaugural AEW show. Well, it
Let's
wasn't
go.
AEW yet, but it is the birth of AEW for all intents and purposes. So I get your point. I do get your point, but there are ways to explain that the Dark Order could not help him. And I think
Yeah.
that also, again, I mean, we have to see what happens next week. And yes, Coach, it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to harp on this too much. Like, this was just a small problem that I had with Hangman being a dumbass. The segment altogether was great. You know what I mean? I don't want to like completely shut the segment down. It was great. I was like, you dumb.
See, like, but here's the thing, right? This is where you have to look at it as, and this is not a knock on you, it's a knock on WWE fans, because of course it is after the week they're having. Oh, man. WWE fans will see Cody get buried at Mania, and then Cody get buried by Brock, and then say, let it play out, man.
Yeah, let it play out.
This is where you say, let it play out, where it's like, well, we need to see what happens. Like, maybe Hangman, maybe this is what drives the wedge between him and the Dark Order. Maybe this is what drives, like, again, this is part of the storyline where it's like, he showed up for Kenny, and Kenny didn't reciprocate that. And that's important. It's important.
I just need him to get smarter, though. I think Hangman's done this in the past where he just like runs into an obvious ass kicking. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, like that's what he stands up for his friends, and he doesn't care if he gets his ass beat. He is the ultimate ally to have because he will fight for you. If you're his friend, he will be there for you. He will take all the beatings in the world. Right now, Hangman is pissed off because this guy has hurt all of his friends, including Kenny. They've jumped him, they've jumped Kenny, they've jumped Matt and Nick and Cutler and MT Nakazawa, if we're getting really into the weeds of it, and Don, which I don't think he cares about Don.
Yo, are they doing the Roadhouse? Is Hangman Dalton from Roadhouse? Holy crap.
I don't know what Roadhouse is.
It's an old Patrick Swayze movie. Coog, I know Coog and Ed might know it. Wow. Okay.
Clearly old, as you were saying.
Yeah, it is old. It is for sure.
But yeah, that's just the point. The point is that Hangman will be there for his friends. He has plenty of reasons. Well, that's fine because I haven't seen Roadhouse either, so I'm more upset about the Rocky thing. But yeah, I mean,
oh man,
I know you're not going super crazy about it, but I'm just saying like that's just who he is as a character.
Yeah, I got it. All right, next up was time for the main event. The AEW World Tag Team Championships versus the careers of FTR in AEW. FTR versus the Guns, man. This match kicked ass. I was surprised that the Guns put on a very, very good match here. And I think it all started with the Guns coming out to a freaking brand new song with Many Men from 50 Cent. Now, this is a song that goes right back to my high school, dude. Like, this used to bump in my stereo, in my car, and I could not believe that they actually landed this song. I'm very interested to see, like, if 50 Cent just gave it to them or if they just bought it for some reason. I want to know the story behind this new entrance.
It was a great entrance.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Really yeah, it was a great look for them. The gear was nice. Good gear, good music, good entrance. I loved it. I think it was the next step for them, and I hope that they keep doing it. I hope that wasn't a one-night thing. I thought it was a really
Dude, Coach, yeah. They came out to Many Men, bro. They had to bleep the stuff, but they played the song, dude.
I like that. I thought it was a good fit for them.
It was
Really.
great. I couldn't believe it. I actually popped because I'm a huge 50 Cent fan.
So
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Scale of 1 to 10. How nervous were you during this match?
Dude, my heart was fucking pounding in this match, bro. I was dying. I was sitting there with like my hands on my knees, like,
Yeah.
They had me with multiple false pins, man. They had me a bunch of times, dude.
So something that I really, yes, Coach, you absolutely need to watch Dynamite tonight. Like, finish it. It was really good. I actually might go back and Here's the thing, man. Dynamite's been on such a roll the past few months that it's like I'm at a point now where even as much as I enjoy it, usually because I don't have time, I don't go back and rewatch it like start to finish. I might just go back either after, like, I have to watch All Access tonight, but then after that, I might go back and just watch some more Dynamite stuff. It's just been that good.
You're right. There's rarely a Dynamite that I go back and watch again, but this is definitely one of them.
This is about to be the third week in a row where I go back and watch Dynamite again. Like, it's just been that good lately. Like, and like, here's the thing. Like, I do not have enough time to do that because obviously I spend a lot of time in my gaming habits. I'm also married. I have a full-time job that fucking sucks. And just all these other things that take up all this time. I very rarely, mind you also, they have AEW content on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays with Ring of Honor on Thursdays. I have no time to go back and watch Dynamite. And these last 3 weeks, I'm going back and watching Dynamite. So
is it wrong that I'm happy we don't have a Saturday show yet? I was like, I can't handle anymore, Tony. Stop this.
No, I mean, I look, dude. I've talked about it. Like, I'm nervous. Like, we might have to like sit down and really come up with something. There might not be like a post Rampage show if they do a Saturday show.
My
like,
wife will kill me if I have to do a whole nother podcast.
My wife too. She'd be like, "You're doing how many
Be in
now?"
the doghouse.
I mean, hey, look, man, if this becomes our full-time gig, I will do a podcast every single day.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
That's the goal. Subscribe.
I can only pray that's what happens.
Subscribe, please. I want to create content for you guys. Please give me the opportunity to do so. You have no idea how much Jeff and I talk about all these cool things we could do if we had time. Oh my god. Anyways, this is an awesome match with a lot of really smart booking. Something that I loved here was the long-term storytelling of referees' discretion being used in this match. The Guns know that if FTR don't win the titles, they are gone. So the Guns go into this match with the mindset of, we can get disqualified. JD just got a year-long DraftKings sponsorship. Ugh. That would be nice.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Good for him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure.
So Rome can quit his day job.
So like you just said, the referee's discretion there was a spot here where they went for the low blow and the ref was going to do the disqualification, but Cash grabbed his arm and begged him not to disqualify them. I don't think I've ever seen that spot before. I don't think I've ever seen someone stop a ref from a disqualification like that. Have you?
A little bit, but again, that's the whole thing about the referee's discretion, where we've seen referees kind of take a little bit of a lax, not to, to bring just where the ref's like, I don't want this match to end this way. I'm gonna let it go. This is the first time where you saw wrestlers begging to be disqualified. You have Austin just low blowing Dax in front of the referee, sliding belts. All of these things, just egging on the referee. And even at one point, the referee's like, yeah, I'm going to do the right thing. And Cash is like, no, don't do it. Like, that's our careers on the line, man. You can't do that. And I just loved it. I thought it was really well done. It's little things like that. It's the same kind of thing where a few years back, AEW had a match end during picture-in-picture. It was an Orange Cassidy versus, what was the name of the other guy from, with Angelico and Jack, what's his name?
Jack Evans.
Jack Evans, thank you. where they had that match end in picture because they wanted to make sure that as a fan that you know that the way this universe works, everything matters and it happens for a reason. It is all sensical. And again, it's ironic that we're ending the show exactly where we started it, where I'm talking about it is so important to respect your viewer, to respect your customers. Don't make them feel stupid. Don't make them feel like they are being like treated like children. It's not good.
Yeah.
And here you have it where AEW is like, hey man, look, these things happen for a reason. Referees discretion is a thing, and this is why it's a thing, because you get to a situation like this. This is why Tony Khan's like, hey guys, you're the referees in the kayfabe. I trust you guys to keep the order, but not ruin matches because the customers, the fans deserve good matches. And here you have it in the kayfabe working the way it's supposed to, where Paul Turner knows that, like, yeah, he just low blowed him, but if I end this match, I am ending the career of FTR. I can't do that. I'm going to use my referee's discretion in a way that is smart to the story. And my hat's already off to them because I'm sweating because it's like 80 degrees for some reason in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, it's gonna be 85 tomorrow with thunderstorms, and I'm like, shit, Jesus.
Gotta get this
My hat's
tape,
already
yeah.
off to them. It's phenomenal. It's so good.
So that spot with the headbutt with the titles, I actually thought they were going to lose there. As soon as Dax took the title to the head, you know, so Austin basically had one of the titles. He was hiding it while he was laying there. Dax went for the diving headbutt. Austin put the title up, smashed Dax in the head during the headbutt, goes for the pin. I thought that was it. I thought they were done, but nope. Dax kicks out at 2.999999. I admit right there, they had me, man. I thought it was over, but Dax and Cash it was like a double roll up pin. Both guys get rolled up and we get a 1, 2, 3, and new champions. FTR, the Living Legends, are your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. And I lost my mind in my living room. I ran around absolutely freaking out. I was like, thank you, sweet baby Jesus, sweet 6.9 ounce baby Jesus. I was so happy, man. Like, I just did not want them winding up over in the hell that is now the Fed.
It's the hell that's always been the Fed. So, Jeff, here's another really good tweet for you. Wembley Stadium, Tony Khan has it all wrong. You're supposed to take government funds to run a stadium in the middle of nowhere, play off a famous anniversary, and then beat the hometown hero in the main event. That was from Jim Valley, by the way. Shout out to Jim Valley. Good stuff.
Oh shit, that's funny. Darth says 80 degrees in Virginia, getting excited for summer. Pumped? Hell no, dude. Do you know how nasty it is in the summer here? It gets so humid. I hate sweating.
So here's the thing, right? Jeffrey Vegas, hot takes are. Apart from swimming pools, summer is the worst month. It's fucking disgusting. It's so hot. It's so hot. And like I think it's better to be cold because you can warm up by like putting on layers or like getting blankets. Like, it's easy to warm up. If you're cold, put on some nice socks, put on some nice, like, you know, pants, some sweats or some PJs or whatever, put a hoodie on. Oh my god, I love wearing hoodies. Like, it's so nice to warm up. But when it's fucking hot, when it's like 100 degrees and you're just like sitting there and you're like, you're going to get to a point where there's nothing you can do about it except for sit there and suffer. And I hate it. Summer is the absolute worst time of the year. Obviously, when I was a kid, I loved it because I was out of school for 3 months. But now it's terrible.
I've been saying it for years, man. In the winter, you can always put more clothes on. In the summer, you can't take them all off.
Right, and then like also like other than that, like nothing nothing really great happens in the summer. Like, I mean, 4th of July is fun, but like you start in September and like the fall's coming in, it's really nice. And then you get to October and like Halloween happens and Halloween's dope as fuck. Football starts up. You get to November and Thanksgiving's really cool. I mean, it's my least favorite of the big of that like time of year holidays where I like Christmas more and stuff like that. But Thanksgiving can be kind of cool. Football again is still a big thing. Usually all the video games come out that time of year. That's like the big holiday release schedule. And then you get to like December and obviously Christmas. I fucking love Christmas. Love the time of year. I love snow. You get to January, you celebrate New Year's. Things kind of slow down at that point, and then it gets like, January can be kind of a bummer sometimes, but then you get past it, and then next thing you know, it's like springtime, and it's like really nice out. Baseball starts up, and it's like hoodie weather, but it's still like nice enough out where you can like go out and like do things. I think it's great. And then you get to summer, and it's just fucking terrible. It's like, honestly, the word like hell for me would probably be going to a WWE show in New Jersey in the middle of summer. Like that's hell.
No, thank you.
That is hell. So.
All right, so at the end of this, Mark Briscoe comes out to celebrate with the FTR. Gives him a nice hug, and then we go off the air. Absolutely amazing Dynamite. Way better than the Raw after WrestleMania. Absolutely killed it, Tony. Many people were speculating Tony had a big opportunity here. I thought the same thing. This is the time of year where wrestling interest is at its height or at its highest. This episode knocked it out of the frickin' park. You got probably the greatest week of a birthday gift you could have possibly gotten this week. So I think all is right in the world. All I can ask for is for my birthday to be even better during the Forbidden Door week, huh?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the same week, isn't it?
It's around there. Like mine will miss it, but it's right around Jenna's birthday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, get this. So Jenna's birthday is July 6th, right? And my birthday is July 9th. And we are both Cancers, and the Cancer symbol is the 6 and 9. Isn't that crazy that our birthdays make the Cancer symbol?
Yeah, that is really funny, actually.
That's pretty cool. Coach Nick says all Jersey people are douches. Amen, Coach. And I apologize to anybody here from Jersey, but
just like that Mark.
Jersey's terrible. All right, man. What do we got lined up for Rampage?
Well, this week, Rampage is live, Jeff. It is live and will be followed by the next Battle of the Belts. So first up on Rampage, we have a rematch for the FTW Championship, Hook versus Ethan Page. This is obviously where we're going to learn about the contract, I would assume. Also, I would expect this match to go longer. So there you go. You're worried about a squash? Well, they're doing a rematch on Friday.
Nice.
Next up, the Acclaimed, Daddy Magic, and Cool Hand Ange will be in action in an 8-man tag. Swerve Strickland has an important announcement to make. Darby Allin will be taking on Lee Moriarty. And then I think they also announced, I missed it because they did this thing where they did all the matches on the bottom left. I think they also announced Anna Jay versus Julia Hart for Rampage as well.
Nice.
Afterwards, for Battle of the Belts, we have, first of all, the AEW International Championship will be defended by Orange Cassidy. He's going to be defending against Duralistico. Jade Cargill will be defending her TBS Championship against Billy Starks, who's getting another match with them. That's really good for her. And then, obviously, the main event of the entire week, the Lucha Bros will be defending their Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against Powerhouse Hobbs and QT the God. This man has gotten his title shot. I'm so excited that QT Marshall is in the title picture. He's going to win it on Friday.
He's facing for the FTW?
No, he's facing QT and Hobbs are taking on the Lucha Bros for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team
for the Ring of Honor. Where did I get the FTW from? Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, QT's going to win some gold this Friday.
I would just say no chance, but maybe.
No, there is
Which belt is flipping? All right, so give me the 3 championship matches one more time.
I don't think they're flipping any belts here.
We got to on the freaking live one, man.
They've
Nobody
had
ever
live
thinks
ones
that.
before. Jeff, they've had live ones before.
Oh,
But they have Cassidy and Dralistico, Jade and
no.
Starks, and then the Lucha Bros and QT and Hobbs. I don't think the title changing on any of these.
No, I agree. It doesn't sound like we're gonna get any title changes, but man, why would they? I don't know.
I think it's going to be a great show regardless. I think all of these matches sound well. I mean, Jade and Starks. We'll see how long that one goes, but I think Orange Cassidy and Dralistico is going to be a certified real one. I think that's going to be awesome.
No, I'm agreeing with Coach on this. This might be one of the first times I've seen like a battle of the belts, and I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I get it. I think the thing about it is that Tony Khan has plans. Tony has plans for these titles. He doesn't just decide one week like, all right, you're dropping the belt. This is not a WWE situation. Tony has plans for when these championships are going to change hands.
Yeah.
Warner wants content, and
what title even changed? I don't even remember.
The TNT title has changed hands at Battle of the Belts. I think it changed hands like twice. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I hear your point.
Okay. I mean, Warner wanting the show, that would make sense, maybe.
So the thing that really sticks out to me that I'm surprised they didn't do here, and I would have done it this way, unless he's really trying to re-sign Brian Cage. So Brian Cage is working as a free agent right now. Yeah. I almost think that I would have booked a Ring of Honor 6-man tag match here where you have the Embassy lose. Because, I mean, I trust Brian Cage. I think Brian Cage is going to do the right thing, but this guy's a champion for you, and he's working without a contract. And that's a little troublesome. That's a little worrisome.
It is, you know.
Like, it's one thing for Mox to do it, and it's one thing for Cody to do it, because at the time Cody had some honor left in him still. He doesn't now, but I don't know. That's what I would have done. I mean, I get it. It's a good match having Lucha Bros versus QT and Hobbs. I mean, it goes off that storyline they've been building. I think it's a good idea. But I probably would have. I probably would have booked a match here where you can change some titles around. But I guess the other point is like who's dropping a belt right now? Like, I don't think it makes sense for anyone to drop a belt outside of Cage. I can't think of it.
I agree. Huh. I thought this might have been a good chance to give Orange Cassidy an opponent that was like believable and even you could possibly change hands here, but I guess not.
Argue that Dralistico could do it. I mean, the guy.
You could argue that. You definitely could.
Could go and defend it in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Especially if we have some heavy AAA influence coming, I could see that. Could be a favor from Tony back to AAA for letting Vikingo come over.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? We'll see. I don't think Orange Cassidy is going to lose to Dralistico, but I think it's feasible. I definitely think it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it is feasible, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Somebody make that Cody sign a wallpaper. Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
I think Nat already did. I think she said.
Yeah, Darth. We definitely saw that. We talked about that earlier. That was great. All right, man. Anything else you wanted to go over here tonight?
No, I think that's just about it. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, go ahead and close us out.
All right. Well, this has been episode 132 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already on your way out. We had some good discourse here in the chat today. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. Ed, Darth, Coach, Nat was here earlier. Everyone else as well. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. I think I already said that. You can follow us on our social medias in the link down below. If you like AEW, we talk about AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays and Rampage on Fridays. I don't know if Jeff's up for doing a late night review because it's a 2-hour show or not, but we'll figure that out. I'm going to go watch All Access. Coog also said to watch it. We'll definitely be watching it and probably talk about it on Friday. If you like video games, we do the Game Room podcast on Mondays. I'm going to hopefully maybe be done Octopath Traveler 2 by Monday. So maybe I'll be reviewing that. Don't know yet. Not 100% sure. But I'm seeing the Mario Brothers movie tomorrow, so we'll probably be talking about that on Monday as well.
Yeah, there we go.
that's probably going to be something we talk about.
Yeah.
However, until next time, we will see you guys on Friday.
All right. And like he said, we will see you guys on Friday. Top guys out.
Oh, yeah, you get to still say.